New console launches are exciting times filled with possibility, but they can also be breeding grounds for some awful, awful games. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst video game launch titles.
Welcome, travelers.
For this new and improved redux of an older list, we'll be looking at video games released during a console launch period, and as usual, only one game per franchise. Here we go.
Ooh, edgy. Is that because of the tournament?
Number 10, Night Trap. Night Trap has earned itself a cult following from the so bad it's good crowd, but make no mistake, Night Trap is a bad game.
I'm pulling the plug on you before you do any more damage.
At the time, the full-motion video title was fairly controversial for its portrayal of scantily clad women and violence. That being said, what was deemed risque for video games in the early 90s is as tame as can be by today's standards.
Thanks, Control. That was close.
But at the end of the day, Night Trap's biggest problem is that it's outright boring, and it's nearly impossible to take this hokey schlock seriously.
I don't think you understand, Mr. Martin, but you're in serious trouble here.
Number 9, Genji, Days of the Blade. Probably most famous for its giant enemy crab.
So here's this giant enemy crab.
Genji, Days of the Blade is a character action game that's based on ancient Japanese history, but doesn't do a very good job of portraying those epic battles. Besides its cutting-edge visuals for the time, Genji had nothing to offer action game fans that hadn't been done better in other titles. As a sequel in a popular genre, there's absolutely no reason for Genji Days of the Blade to be as bad as it is. Early adopters of the PlayStation 3 definitely deserved better. Hey, at least it spawned the popular meme, attack its weak point for massive damage.
And you attack its weak point for massive damage.
Number 8, Game Party Champions. Believe it or not, Game Party Champions is the 5th Game Party game, and it's the epitome of awful minigame collections. It's hard to believe this game released for the Wii U, because aside from its HD visuals, this game is as lackluster and frustrating as an old arcade game designed to steal your quarters.
That had to have sucked, but I'm tired of the mopey attitude.
Game Party Champions comes, packed with 8 insufferable minigames to choose from, most of which are played by swiping your stylus up and down on the screen. No wonder the Wii U had a slow start.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. I think you're about ready.
Number 7, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
See you later, boy.
Popular with kids and grown-ups alike, an Avatar: The Last Airbender game should have been a slam dunk. Sadly, this take on the popular series that launched alongside the original Wii is an exercise in patience. Mostly due to lackluster combat and a shallow version of the universe, Avatar: The Last Airbender plays like a carbon copy of so many other child-proof licensed games.
Come on, guys, hide!
It's a cash grab that preys on fans, kids, and excited new console owners. One that's almost as bad as the M. Night Shyamalan disaster that's based off the same property.
How are we supposed to tell what any of this means?
This library is for master benders, Sokka. You know, smart people.
Number 6, Mobile Suit Gundam: Crossfire.
Proceed as if it were a real mission.
Begin gym performance evaluation test.
It takes a special kind of bat to make running around in a Gundam suit boring.
What's this? Picking up a heat source.
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire launched alongside the PlayStation 3 with a disjointed story, severe lack of mission variety, and an atrociously low frame rate.
What the hell?
More to the point, Crossfire feels unfinished. It's a classic case of a game being rushed to market in time for a console launch with zero consideration for fans of the franchise or their hard-earned money. It's just an insult to everyone involved.
Don't be afraid to withdraw if you must. Just remember, I won't forget it.
Number 5, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Hoping to capitalize on the success of the arcade hit Donkey Kong, and maybe convince some parents to buy a Nintendo Entertainment System along the way, Donkey Kong Jr. Math is exactly what you'd expect. A math game featuring Donkey Kong Jr. Unfortunately, the game's rudimentary puzzle solving is too easy to be any fun, and is made worse by sluggish animations. To put the this in perspective. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is an educational game that's so bad that Nintendo, with a few odd exceptions, halted any attempts to teach their users for an over 20-year period between this release in 1983 and the launch of Brain Age for the Nintendo DS in 2006, which, by the way, was marketed towards adults and not kids. Number 4. Street Fighter the Movie, the Game. If you've ever played a Street Fighter game, you know it's a series about pixel-perfect animations and quick-fisted combos. Street Fighter the Movie, the Game is anything but. Grabbing the hilarious, campy, live-action performances from the movie and squeezing them onto a PlayStation disc led to some really awful performance. What's more, these muddy character models get in the way of the tight hitboxes and frame-by-frame tactics the series is known for. Street Fighter the Movie, the Game is a mockery to the series.
You win!
Number 3. Fighter Within.
I hook combo!
And another fighting game plagued with sloppy timing and unresponsive design.
Time out!
The Fighter Within is a Kinect game for the Xbox One that reacts to players punching and kicking thin air. It's as flimsy a mechanic as you would expect, and to make matters worse, most of the game's characters are lazy stereotypes that leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yo, nobody talks about the sensei like that. Nobody.
This is truly one of the worst launch games on a console, and that it was released for a modern system by Ubisoft, a current major publisher, makes it all the more insulting.
KO! You win!
Number 2. Cybermorph. Cybermorph feels like a dystopian relic from a world where computers never matured past the Apple II. Sure, its 3D visuals were light years ahead of the original Mario and Zelda games, marking the debut of the Atari Jaguar, but Cybermorph is altogether sterile.
Where did you learn to fly?
There's nothing remotely interesting going on here. Just polygons hovering in space and an obnoxious green face that pops up to dole out sweet pro tips like,
Avoid the ground.
Good one, Skylar. I'll have to try that sometime. Cybermorph is just unflinchingly bad.
Good work. Portal now open.
Before we get to our number 1, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Make My Video.
Come on, come on, come on!
Sega published and launched their console, the Sega CD, with a game called Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Make My Video. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah. Can you feel it, baby?
Sure enough, it's a game that puts Marky Mark Wahlberg and you at the center of the action, letting players decide exactly what would make the best Marky Mark music video. Unsurprisingly, there's nothing redeeming here, from its terrible acting to outright bad quote-unquote gameplay.
She wants to make the new Marky Mark video more fluffy.
Wait a minute. Your mother and I watch a lot of VH1. Maybe we could help.
This unfathomable combination of awful ideas and execution makes it unquestionably the worst console launch game of all time.
This guy is a serious musician. This video should be tough. It's too sexy for his shirt.
So, do you agree with our list?
A little humility is in order here, I feel.
Which of these games have you bought, played, and deeply regretted? Did we miss any good ones or bad ones? Let us know in the comments, and for more great top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Hey! Is anybody out there?
Excuse me? Are you awake? You didn't do anything.